Welcome, and thank you for joining us for another beautifully blessed, peaceful, prosperous, productive, and phenomenally powerful night. We are your hosts, Tori the Barber, the one and only, the only one under the sun, and the man with the plan, my right-hand man. If I ain't know no better, I think his name was Stan. Free Will Cole.
What's happening? Free Will Cole in the building. Thank you, and welcome to another edition of the Free Will Podcast, where we create a community that normalizes growth, for people like you and me, man, so we could be the best versions of ourselves, you know what I'm saying?
Week.
Every single day, you hear me? Every single minute.
Cool.
What's happening to man?
What's your boss, man?
How you doing, man? Listen, bro, I appreciate those introductions, man. Listen,
sure.
if I'm feeling level 1, I goddamn it, I'm gonna be on level 10 by the time you say Free Will Code. Goddamn it.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying?
I ain't gonna lie, they do something for me too, man. Like, Coach just asked me, he was like, look, you need to do some push-ups before we get started, because them push-ups will wake you up. I said, listen, the intro do everything I needed to do. Yeah. I mean, that's a whole thing in itself. I ain't gonna lie, I love that intro, dog. I mean, but nonetheless, what's going on, big dog? Right. Tell me about your day, how your day was.
Oh, man, my day was cool, man. I had some stomach issues early in the day, man. So today I'm fasting. So
that's that Mexican food.
I'm just on water. Hey, bro.
That Chinese food.
So I just, water fast today. I didn't eat anything.
Yeah.
It's not how it usually is, because my stomach was already hurting, so I guess I was already turned off of food. So I mean, it wasn't as hard as it usually is what I meant to say.
I feel you. I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Yeah, so man, that's why I am. I'm definitely interjected. I'm here. I'm ready to go, man. What about you, man? How you feeling?
Oh man, man, I'm so grateful to be here for another Free Will Podcast, episode 25.
Get it right.
I'm talking about, I feel like beyond this point, I gotta make a big deal about every episode, because listen, man, I seen a poll, a statistic said that most people don't get past the first few episodes. Like we a few months in, we in there, we doing this thing for real, man. So we got some things, we got some stones that we gotta overturn, but we got the consistency down packed. We are showing up. We in the building, and I feel great about that. I was looking forward to this. Man, today was a phenomenal day. Today was a great day. Spent the day with my lady. We went and washed the dogs and did all those wonderful things. We went and grabbed some quick food to go, whatever the case is. And overall, it was just a pretty good day. I hit the gym this morning, so that's also a phenomenal thing. I'm grateful to have another day where I can celebrate what my body can do. So I was able to do that. So yeah, man, today was a phenomenal day. Yeah, it is.
That's what's up, man.
Cool. Tell them people what you're grateful for.
Yeah, boss. Man, I seen something today that made me grateful to have my ligaments. Have all of my ligaments, they can all move. That's a privilege. We wake up, we just be throwing our hands around and stuff. Like those things are a given, but in it, nothing is a given in this world. So
for sure,
I thank God for that, and I thank Him for, for everything. You know what I'm saying? Putting me on a path that I'm on. You gotta give everything to the man up above. Yeah, shout out to my lady. Shout out to my lady. Listen to me. So you playing games, too? I'm telling you, playing games. I told him we had to record the podcast 2 weeks in advance. I'm telling him I'm gonna be gone.
Be out of here. Oh shoot, we almost at that point in time.
Listen to me.
Today the what?
Today is the 10th.
19th. Ooh. So when she coming back?
Today is the 10th. It's we got 10 more days.
Ooh, boy, I know.
See.
With Smoking said, I'm gonna beat the brakes off that. Man, come on, man.
Boy, stop. Man, what I was about to say,
You say you was gonna go and hide, and we gotta record 2 weeks in a row. Your lady getting ready to come back, though. That's where you at, though.
Yeah, man, she gonna be back. We definitely going to relish in the time that was missing. It's been 4 months.
Yes, sir.
Hey, bro, it feel like it's been a year, to be honest. But that's healthy, man. That's healthy. That's a healthy thing. So I'm great. I'm grateful for it. Shout out moms. Shout out my fam. Shout out To the Goat.
Yes, Lord.
Shout
thank God.
out. I'm gonna do a toe ting, man. Shout out pops. Shout out my grandmas. That's my hearts.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying. Shout out that boy Gino. You hear me? Shout out all the big dogs around me.
Yes, Lord.
Shout out my little sister. Love you, girl. You heard me? What's about you, man? What you grateful for today?
Oh man, I am so grateful and thankful for the man up above. Oh man, I know I give a lot of recognition to the first lady, but you gotta give recognition to the first man. Hey, all praise to the Most High. I'm thankful that God got us in the building here for another episode. Episode 25. We in the building. We live and in private. Oh man, so such an honor to be here. Man, I'm thankful for the first lady for being in my corner and being the definition of a backbone. True definition of a backbone. And sometimes your back hurt, but when your back hurt, that's just letting you know something wrong. And she do that. She let me know when it's time to wake up, when it's time to pay attention to certain things. And man, and I ain't saying she causing the pain, but I'm just saying she bring awareness. And so I'm just grateful for that. And man, I'm thankful for her. Absolutely, I gotta make some noise for her. And make some noise for her and make some noise for God. Yeah, man. So I'm thankful for that. Man, got two living parents, man. Like I said, I've been saying for the last few weeks. You know what I'm saying? I'm grateful to have them still, you know what I'm saying, and have them in the building. My wonderful children, Kaisley and Nevaeh, in the building with me. They ain't in the building, but they in my heart, so they in the building with me. If you're picking up what I'm putting down, man, and my wonderful clients, because you know I come on here every week as Tori the Barber, so it's only right that I put y'all on the stage. You dig? And I'm just grateful for everything that went right, so that we can share this moment together, so that you can be sitting wherever you are, listening and watching to the Free Will Podcast. I'm thankful for that, and I'm thankful for us being here in this moment to make each of us a part of the mission in order for us to become the best versions of ourselves week after week. Yes, Lord. If you want to go fast, Cole, go alone. But if you want to get far, go together. And that's what we doing here at the Free Will Podcast. So, we're going to take this moment.
Yeah.
And we're going to bow our heads.
DJ G-Rec, cut the beat.
Hold on. Yeah, I had to hit that. You know what I'm saying? Ain't often I get to utilize the button, so we gotta.
DJ the Tori the Barber.
Yeah, you heard me.
DJ TB, you heard me. Please join us in our very spiritual session.
Yes, Lord.
Let's go ahead and bow your heads. In the name of growth. Go ahead on and hit that subscribe button. Yep. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Go ahead and fill that like up with energy. All you gotta do is click it. Like if you go ahead and you just click that thing. Make sure they got a D on the end of it. Make sure you join. Make sure you with the family. Make sure you with the movement.
Yes,
and you alongside us as we grow into powerful young men and soon to be old and wise men. You know what I'm saying? Cool. I appreciate y'all. Yep.
Oh no, I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
Yeah, no. I appreciate the people who are with us, and appreciate the people who are joining us. You digging me? What's happening, Toad?
Man, I was talking to my lady today.
Yeah.
And she pointed something out to me. She said, "Man, like in like 2 to 2.5 years or so, 2 years and a few months, bro, we're gonna be 30. We're going to be 30. We're going to be in them dirty 30s. You heard me? And I'm like, you know what? You absolutely right. I don't even feel like, I don't know what it's like to be 30. But we about to be 30, bro. I ain't going to lie to you. That's a milestone that we getting ready to hit. I still feel like I am who I am. You know what I'm saying? Like 5-10 years ago. But I ain't him no more. You know what I'm saying? Your mind got to grow and develop and stuff like
that. That, huh?
and I've developed in a multitude of ways, and I've matured in a multitude of ways. But still, in all, man, like that part of my brain that think about Like I don't feel like I'm getting old. I just feel like I'm just going through life. I ain't even really count my age. Like I don't think I feel too different than I used to feel. But I do realize when I don't get in that gym, yeah, it deal with me different. My body be holding on to some stuff that they don't need. But that's about it for me, man.
Yeah, it'd be quick. You go to grab something, you like,
oh Lord.
Wait a minute. You know what I'm saying? I heard a little snap there.
Yeah, a little pop in the knee.
Right. Bump that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. Listen, without further ado,
icky.
Let's drop that.
Word on the street. Word on the street. Word on the street. What we talking about, Mr. Cole? Matter of fact, now what we talking about? But who we talking about?
Right. In my eyes, the man, the myth, the legend, Jay-Z, Jigga, Hove,
woo,
the Big Don Dada,
Sean Carter
has been accused. Has a lawsuit, right, accusing him of raping a child at awards after party. He's saying that it's part of an extortion ploy. Right, a woman who previously sued Sean Diddy Combs, alleging she was raped at an awards show after party in 2000 when she was 13, amended the lawsuit Sunday to include a new allegation that Jay-Z was also at the party and participated in the sexual assault. The 24-time Grammy Award-winning rapper, producer, and music mogul called the allegations idiotic and heinous in nature in a statement released by Roc Nation, one of his companies. He also revealed that he anonymously sued. Anonymously sued the woman's lawyer Tony Busby last month, alleging he was trying to blackmail the rapper by threatening to make the rape allegations public if he didn't agree to a legal settlement. He said Busby sent a letter to his lawyer appearing to seek a settlement, but that the letter had the opposite effect on him. Yeah, man, that's crazy, man. Jay-Z actually responded to this, right? And he was like, "It made me want to expose you for the fraud you are in a very public fashion." Jay-Z's statement read, "So no, I will not give you one red penny." What you think about that, too?
Well, you know, initially first and foremost, I don't put it past him. I'm just go on record and say I don't put it past him. You was fooling with Diddy, with the allegations, with the tapes and the recordings that they got with Diddy and all this stuff, all that kind of stuff. Your name been being brought up. I've heard it. I don't know if you heard it, but I've been hearing his name getting brought up and being in connection and in cahoots with Diddy. If my memory serves me correctly, when he first started talking to Beyonce, she wasn't even 18. She probably like 15, 16, something like that. So it's not too far-fetched. And this allegation this supposedly happened in around, 2003, something like that? Something like 2000. So, I mean, hey, hello. So the rest around the same time, not too far after. So, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't put it past him. I ain't saying it's true, but I don't put it past him. And lastly, well, I'm gonna leave it right there. Cool, you got some remarks and comments?
Yeah, man. Listen, just being someone who's around someone who does things like that, you're already in that conversation. You know what I'm saying? Whether you did anything or not.
They call it guilty by association. If you
know what I mean? And at that time, man, it's crazy, man. It's really sad. The things that like the culture of rap or hip hop behind the scenes. Yeah. It's filthy. It's nasty. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people knew that. Like you can go and look at Biggie Small songs, and he said something. I got a partner that, you know what I'm saying, mess with kids and stuff, right? He had to be talking about Diddy. You know what I mean? Like it's just like you are around that stuff, and you just like you're guilty by association. Yeah. Now on the other side of this, Do I think he would get accused? No, I don't.
No, I don't think he's gonna make it.
I think that I think Jay-Z has built up an empire that makes him damn near untouchable. And you can just see by the PR, like the public like the way he responded, right? Like his legal team is ridiculous. He has Rock Nation, who has their hands in many things, including something huge like the Super Bowl, right? They got connections in New York. They got connections worldwide. Like it's not a worldwide, not just even in the United States, right? And Jay-Z is damn near untouchable, to be honest, if you ask me.
Well, maybe in a sense. All right, so before I get to the untouchable part, no pun intended, right? I want to bring it back to the when you said what did you say about Jay-Z? The way that he even addressed the matter in the first place. I think there's some reverse psychology in the way that he addressed it, because it was supposed to be an extortion. But before I give you the privilege of the space to be able to out me first, break the news and shape the perception of it, or maybe it was already broken when they touched the media. Just the way that he went out about it was head on. He wasn't ducking. He wasn't trying to be quiet about it. He just straight head butted the situation head on. So that alone will leave reasonable doubt. No pun intended, because you got the album called The Reasonable Doubt. But that alone create reasonable doubt in his favor. That'd be like, okay, well, look, if he did it, he probably wouldn't have even came out there like that. But Diddy thought he was untouchable. Diddy thought he was God. He was a God. He thought he was God. He didn't, he's saying all this crazy stuff. But when you stepping on the wrong people's toes, stuff like this start popping up and popping off. So I don't know, Jay-Z stepping on the wrong people's toes, but if it's just some sort of thing that's coming out about him because he connected to Diddy in some kind of way, I do think that Jay-Z is powerful enough to kind of like get this snuffed out. You know what I'm saying? Like, it'll blow over real quick. Settlement, we just gonna make it look crazy because we control the media.
Yeah, I think whatever consequences that Jay-Z would get for whatever he's done, it's going to be spiritual consequences.
Yeah.
I think that's right. That's what I said. Right. Whatever he's done, it'll be spiritual consequences. Because there's a reason why you shouldn't put your stake, whatever your stake is, your mental stake, your emotional stake, whatever it, like you shouldn't use the world to measure, because the world is it can be manipulated. So you can conquer the world, but you can never conquer the spiritual world.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? So whatsoever consequences that he should have, you know what I'm saying, it'll probably, like, he in my mind, to be honest, he conquered the worldly aspect of life, you know what I'm saying? But hey, listen, there's no escaping God and his consequences, you know what I'm saying? It just don't work like that, right? He gonna either experience it within his family, he gonna experience it within his mind, or he gonna experience it when he leaves this world.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Don't ever think you can escape.
Karma.
You know what I'm saying? Karma. Yes, sir. So yeah man.
So kind of like a lot like how we was talking about with Jay-Z.
Yeah.
And these allegations and just the way that he confronted these allegations, because this allegation, no, it's not a petty allegation. Like, I mean, this is a serious allegation, and especially when you are connected and in cahoots with Diddy and everything that he got going on. Everybody who was ever seen with him at a party in public or whatever in an interview, you know what I'm saying, they kind of vulnerable in a sense because they're susceptible to being connected to, what's going on in Diddy's world. You know what I'm saying? And they kind of bring me to the topic that we talking about tonight, right? For Jay-Z, that could have been very, very bad. there could have been there could have been an outpour, just like how Diddy experiencing like an outpour. In a sense, he bleeding out. I mean, he offered up $50 million for bond. He offered that up, and it got denied. Jay-Z took an approach that head-butted these allegations to stop the bleeding before it could even. I mean, when it was at Band-Aid level, superficial level, you know what I'm saying? He addressed it in such a way to stop the bleeding. And that is essentially what we're talking about tonight. Tonight, this conversation is based around stopping the bleeding. And that's only merely one example. Cool. We got different aspects of our lives where we could be hemorrhaging. It could be a slow leak, or it could be a heavy bleed. We have areas in our life like financial. We have areas in our lives. It could be spiritual bleeding. We can have emotional and mental bleeding. We can have bleeding within our family. Family secrets, family lies. We can have bleeding in parenthood and co-parentship. You know what I'm saying? And there's so many different avenues that we could be experiencing bleeding as a family. And I mean the Free Will family and those who's listening. But Mr. Cole, we're gonna talk a little bit about life struggles and emotion in our emotional state, just to kind of open up this conversation. Okay. So when life feels chaotic, how do you determine where to start? When you kind of like, when things are all over the place, when you have multiple fires to put out, like how do you personally determine where to start with whatever's going on around you?
And I also want to offer up some context on the bleeding aspect. If you didn't catch it, it just means something that is it's just occurring, and it's occurring, and it's not a good thing, right? And it's just happening over and over and over again, and there's really no means to stop or no plans for it to stop. You know what I'm saying? So something's happening in your life, and it's kind of a negative thing, right? And it's just happening. It's not stopping. It's just keep bleeding out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right. And so, to your question, man, like if life is chaotic right now and there's a lot of stuff going on, I'm like, man, this has to stop. How would I stop it? First thing I would do is,
I'm sorry. Really, like, how do you determine where to start? Well, my question was, how do you determine where to start? Where to start? Where to start.
And so first thing I would do is release, because I can't. There's no, and I was about to say me in general, but a lot of people, no matter how good you are, how good your cognitive skills are, it's much easier to think about one thing at a time. And release everything out of your brain. So I'm gonna write down every problem that I have.
Okay.
At the moment, right? I'm gonna write down everything that I have, and just to take it out of my brain so I can concentrate on something.
For sure.
And then I'd write next to those things how it's affecting my life, and also how would it positively affect my life if it gets better. And the thing with the most that'll affect my life the most, I start with that first.
Okay.
What would make it easier? Like let's say I got, I need a car, I need a job, I need a car, I need a job, and then I need I need something else, right? Okay, I need a car, but I don't got money. I need money too, right? I need money to pay for the car, right?
For sure.
Okay, cool. So I catch the bus, so I need to get a job first. I need to get the job so I get the money. Yeah. And then I got after that, then I gotta get the car. It's the strategic thinking that'll probably help with that first. Like, what can I get? What can I do that's gonna help me the most, or what strategically can I do first that's gonna kind of catapult me to the next thing?
I like that.
So that's what I would do. Yeah,
I like that. But and so with that, you gotta like something that's very, very key that you said was that you have to kind of like release everything that's in your mind. You gotta take a minute to kind of like just write everything down. We ain't listening from least to greatest. We just put it all on paper. Just get it out. And that's something that I don't do. Right? A thump dump. I like that. What is it?
A thought dump.
A thought dump. So that's something that I don't generally do. I'm somebody who like to keep things in my mind. I like to try to I think about it, ponder on it, try to figure it out all in my mind. But I got so many other things going on in my mind at the same time that it's almost virtually impossible to efficiently like get things out like how they need to get out. And so I think that for me, like that helps me out personally to really write things down. And that's just something that I've never really been big on. I do see the value in writing things down, but that's something that I've never really been huge on. So I think that's an excellent start. And then from that point, you are releasing and you getting it all out. It's kind of like having a journal. You know what I'm saying? Like you get all this out and you put it on paper, even if it's just for you to see and reflect and go back to. Get it out, put it on paper. I like that, Cole. And then that way you organizing things and you kind of like putting everything in perspective. And then you can see where to start first. For me, I have a tendency, like I just told you, to keep things bottled up in my head and try to figure it out. And so what that does for me, it kind of put me in like a state of paralysis. There's something that I resonate with. It's called analysis paralysis. What analysis paralysis is like before you get started on something, you gotta like figure out everything that there is to know about it. You know, you gotta learn the ins and the outs, the pros and the cons, the ups and downs. But you never get started. Like you get stuck in the whirlwind of just figuring out information about the thing. You never get started. You get paralyzed where you stand. That's analysis paralysis. But with me and all the stuff that's swimming in my head, I kind of get stuck. And it's kind of like I'm the type of person that like to try to see. I have to see something through, all the way through. That's the analysis paralysis aspect of my mind. I gotta see it before I make this decision. Before I make this decision, I have to see where this gonna go, where it could potentially lead me. But because I don't organize things properly, it's hard for me to make a sound, concise decision to get started. So I think with Cole, what you said, that helped me. That helped me an awful lot.
Remember the lady that we met a long time ago. She let us use her house. So we can do the arcade ticket holders thing. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think she used to counsel people, and to counsel them, like the first thing she did was try to get them a house.
I think if I'm not mistaken,
was that her?
Oh, if I'm not mistaken, she did something like that. Like she, I don't know if there was just homeless people or people that were struggling that was trying to get it. Like she housed people. Like she was pretty wealthy, and she housed people. Right,
and so that was her first step in getting people's mental state on a certain level, because her philosophy was that no one can think clearly if they don't have basic security or basic necessities.
Yeah.
And I learned that about myself. Like on that list, I would see if I even have my basic security. Like, can I eat? Like, do I have, like, can I at least comfortably get, like, for me, having a car is that. Having some place to stay is that. So that before you think about, what is it? There's surviving, there's striving, and there's thriving, right? Survival is first. You got to get that out the way. You know what I'm saying? Like, because we'll, like, a lot of times, like, I'll realize that I would be stuck in survival mode, and I'm trying to strive, but I can't strive because I'm trying to think about how I'm gonna pay bills next month.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And we be trying to go zero to hero, and it don't work like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, first thing you got to do is get to a point where you can at least think. Like, well, I could sit down and have some time, and I don't have to worry about, you know what I'm saying, where my next meal gonna come from, or if I got bills paid. You know what I'm saying? Like, your first step probably need to be to get 6 months worth of worth of bills.
Yeah.
Out the way first. Like know where you at. You know what I'm saying? You know, because that'll get me. That alone, bro, would make me like build up some anxiety. Like I'm trying to do this, but I really can't do that yet. I'm really not even there. So on that list as well, I can separate surviving, striving, and thriving.
Yeah,
surviving, getting something where I have enough money to pay bills, and I'm not trying to figure out how I'm gonna do that. Like we shouldn't be doing that. Like I don't know. Like we got that culture, bro. We like, man, I'm trying to figure out. Like I'm check to check. Like that's not living. Like that, you still surviving if you're doing that.
For sure.
You know what I mean? So that's a major point, man. That needs to be. It needs to be addressed. You know what I'm saying?
For sure. Yes, indeed. Man, something that I've been doing recently, and it's just been in like my financial space, is that's something that I battle with, and I'm sure I'm not the only one, but something that I battle with severely is because like I make money how I make money, just kind of like on a day-to-day basis, and it varies, it fluctuates. I sometimes find myself having an issue with just like budgeting properly. You know what I'm saying? So something that I committed myself to doing is something that I started before, but I'm 9 days in from the 1st to the 9th or the 10th night. And I have been keeping track of each of my expenses. I haven't necessarily been I have been more cautious. See, when you document each and every expense that you make, it makes you more aware. It makes you more aware in a moment. Once you make the commitment beforehand to document everything, it makes you more aware of what you're actually spending your money on. And it'll make you second guess what you're spending your money on, because you know the ultimate goal is to put yourself in a better financial situation. So that's something that I've been doing this month, is just working on that from that angle and being more aware. And kind of like to run in with what you were saying, that's just something that that I've just been working on in that financial aspect, in that financial space, just to kind of like gain control of that more, so that I can open up my options and be able to do more and just do more, be able to actually plan and execute and do all those different things, Cole. So that's just something that I've been working on personally. What you got?
Yeah, man, because you're like, you can elevate from the surviving into the striving, and your actions will place you back in survival mode.
Yeah.
Like I'm not even like I'm living like I'm like you have to put protection there. You know, it's like you get past the surviving. You put a protection there so you don't go back, which is the budgeting, which is the looking where I'm at every month, which is the self-awareness, right? Which is a big thing. Like in order to also carry out, because we know too, it's not like what you have to do is not as important as who you have to become to actually do what you need to do. You know what I'm saying? So I need to self-reflect on who I am, because I'm okay. So how can I put this to? It's like I got the habits. Like I do the thing. Like the habits are part of me. So in order to change what I need to do, I need to change me. So who I need to become to stop the bleeding. Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? Like I need to stop the bleeding. So I need to stop cutting myself. Like that's how you gotta look at it. Like
real talk.
Like you cutting yourself, and I need to figure out how I'm cutting myself, and you know what I'm saying. So I need to like who am I? What am I doing?
You got to micromanage.
You know what I'm saying? Right? Like facts.
Like a lot of us are suffering from death by 1,000 cuts. If you don't know about that, that's a such thing. Like a lot of to what Cole's saying, like death by 1,000 cuts is very, very small. You know, cuts that we doing and bad decisions that we making, but they add up. When I used to go to those conferences, Cole, something that I took away from those conferences, man, one of the speakers said, we don't rise to our goals. We fall to our beliefs, our values, and our habits. We fall to the level of our beliefs, our values, and our habits. So do inventory on what your values are, what your beliefs, what your habits are. You see what I'm saying? Because we're gonna fall. Like, we're gonna fall short. But when you fall short, what do you have to stand on? Your character. What do you have to stand on? Your values. What do you have to stand on? Your habits. The positive, healthy habits that you've acquired over the course of time, week to week. Free Will Podcast. You know what I'm saying? Becoming the best version of ourselves every week. That's what you fall on. That's what you fall back on. And that gets you to your goals. You see what I'm saying? That's what lifts you to your goals. You know what I'm saying? When you putting that work into the foundation and the infrastructure of your foundation. So man.
Yeah. You know, I used to have I have a few people, but I really have an auntie, right? My auntie, she like a real micromanager, like so much to where it's aggravating. Like, she gonna go and open your pot, she gonna look in it, you know what I'm saying, and make sure it's good. She gonna ask you questions, like she gonna get all in your business. But I realized also with my auntie, like some people look at her as like she be trying to be perfect. In a certain aspect, she probably kind of feel herself a lot, you know, whatever. But what she does that's effective is she does not leave anything up to chance, right? I think a lot of us we got too much space, we got too much slack, and we look at stuff like it's doing too much. Yeah. But the doing too much is doing enough, like, and that's just enough. We ain't even getting into the extra. You know what I'm saying? And so, like, you know, once you do that though, so once you, like, when you inside the struggles and the chaos, you know, once you write everything down, you know what I'm saying? You want to look at your immediate stuff, like you want to break down, like that's what your immediate, like your survival is your immediate stuff, right? That's how I look at it. Your striving and your thriving is your long-term stuff, right? So, you know, there's a question of like, how can I balance the two, right? I don't look at it like that. I look at it like you need to get the immediate stuff got to be put on autopilot so you can even focus on the long-term stuff. I don't think you should be, or the immediate stuff should be too much in the forefront. It should be in the forefront in terms of habits and like in reflection. You know what I'm saying? That's how I look at it. You know what I'm saying? What you think about that?
I like that concept. I like so something that I hear like a lot of wealthy people do, and when it comes down to just being more effective and having more mental real estate to be able to take care of issues and handle things. Everything, like what Cole said, like let's just say all your bills and all that kind of stuff. You know, it's kind of like put all that on autopilot. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you got the money in your account so that when these bills due, they on auto draft. So you ain't gotta be micromanaging and monitoring these bills and everything. Like you can focus on other things that need to be taken care of. You can focus on your other investments or just other areas and aspects of life. So in that same context, you wanna, you know, the things that you can put on autopilot, the things that you can, you know, or even delegate to where you can have like someone else or a different system operating that just to kind of make you more free and available. I think that's beneficial, you know what I'm saying? So that you can be more beneficial in this pursuit of getting yourself to where you're trying to get to.
Yeah, for sure, man. I got some questions for you, dog.
Go ahead.
You know, I think this is very important as I kind of deal with this a little bit with my family, and you know, I be wanting my sister to be I have expectations for her, you know what I'm saying, but I'm not her father or anything. I just have expectations for her, but you know, and I don't know what it is to be a parent. And so a lot of times our leakage can kind of go into our children and stuff like that, right? Which is
absolutely
very, very important, you know what I'm saying? So what does that look like? You know, what's the bleeding look like in you know, like your parenting dynamics? Like, how do you identify that stuff? You know what I'm saying? Like, how do you identify what's kind of going into your children?
Man, first thing first, because a lot of it is unconscious. Like we don't be realizing the damage that we inflicted on our kids. And I think the first thing is when your child is expressing different things, whether it be through their actions, whether they're seeking attention or they being bad or whatever the case is, the first place to look is not at your child, but it's to look at yourself, because your child is only a reflection of your level of parenting. A lot of times you have kids who are just naturally curious and they get into things and stuff like that, but a lot of times that is the symptom of just you not being present, you not being available. And nowadays we have like tablets and phones, raising the kids. That's very, very popular nowadays in society. Man, but
just give them the iPad so they can be quiet.
Yeah, give them the iPad so they can be quiet, entertained. Let me do this. I'm busy. Watch it. Get the phone. Watch your iPad. Do this. Do that. And I'm guilty of it. I've done it. You know what I'm saying? But as far as that bleeding go, man, like, for me personally, oh man, I think just my values, man. I think my values that I have bleed all over my kids. You know what I'm saying? Just my values that was created and passed down to me, just being raised by a single mama. You know what I'm saying? And just the different things, the dynamic that I've adopted because of that. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's me being fully present, you know what I'm saying, and just not like my daddy was always in the picture. Like he was always one call away, but he wasn't necessarily in the household per se. You see what I'm saying? So I never, like, some people can experience that and be like, man, I'm gonna make sure I'm always in my kids. Like, I'm gonna make sure I'm always around. I'm always on the scene. I don't ever want my kids to experience what I didn't, like, I want them to have what I didn't have. And I guess because I had that 1 foot in, 1 foot out type of dynamic, to where my daddy was in the picture and he was only ever one call away, and we talked for hours all the time. He wasn't in the picture. So I think something that I had to realize is that, and that I do realize, is that I'm not fully particularly present, because I have different kids by different women. So I'm not like particularly present, and it's not equal. It's not even.
Yeah, wait a minute now. He's talking about different men, and it's only two. It's only two.
Yeah. It's only two.
That sounded like that boy is a rolling. That boy like the stone been rolling, huh?
man, no, it's only two, man. But you can't be in two places at the same time, and you can't necessarily equally mend two households at the same time per se. So that's just a dynamic, and there, and I'm sure there's gonna be some effects down the line as a result of that. So in that dynamic, from a father's perspective, that's something that I would say is bleeding in my dynamic, that I need to figure out a better, more suitable way of handling that, or configuring something to where things could be more even, and you know what I'm saying, I could be more present more evenly and different things like that, because that in itself, and especially I have girls, that plays a role down the line. You know what I'm saying? Because although the mother may have a man in their life, well, what quality, what value of man do she have in their life? You know what I'm saying? What kind of example is he showing? How is he treating the mama, to where she's looking at that first, because I'm not there. She looking at how a man treated her mama. So it's like she still adopting that system of like what to accept and what to you know what I'm saying, take from a man and different things like that. So just being more present and being more in the picture and just being more hands on is something personally that I need to improve on. But what you got? Like, you got to follow up.
Yeah. Now, what you think about? What else do you think about? We have a lot of people. We have a lot of young moms, young fathers, and stuff like that. I mean, you were pretty young. Like, talk about the importance of, maybe, if you can, or I say if you can, but having the principles of like having yourself together and having your personal development things together, maybe before you bring kids here. It's like talk about the importance of having that, and the figuring it out why you got them. You know what I'm saying? Talk about that, man.
First thing that stand out to me is that a lot of times as a parent, you're gonna want your kids to do what you say, and not as you do. But they don't learn by words; they learn by watching you. And as a 19-year-old dad, like 19, 20-year-old dad, man, listen, like when my first daughter was born, I wasn't totally on the scene. Like, I still wanted to pop out. Hell, man, you was running the streets. You know what I'm saying? We were still doing stuff. You know what I'm saying? And and I'm talking about, like, you know, sex is cool. Like, sex is cool. You know what I'm saying? You get out there, and at 17, 18, 19, 20, like, when you in that age range, it's about how many bodies you got versus how many bodies I got. Like, at that age, as a young man, that's what make you a man. You know what I'm saying? At that age. But I promise you that is not the case. I promise you, like, I was thinking about this dynamic. Well, I don't want to get into that, cause that's kind of taking it into a different direction. But I just think that having yourself together, not just loosely having sex with people, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you're gonna have a oopsie daisy baby, as I like to call it, at least let it be with somebody that you really love, that you really care about, somebody that you really committed to. You know what I'm saying? You know, aside, I mean, cause at the end of the day, who you having a baby with? A lot of times people don't know who they're having a baby with. It's so many things that we need to, as a man, have our things together to be able to provide for a family. But at the same time, the women that we laying down with, we're not courting them. Like, we laying down with them, but we're not looking at what they personal traumas are. We're not looking at their lineage and where they came from, whether they had a daddy or not themselves. We're not investigating why they so clingy and why they have this separation anxiety. We're not looking at, like, why her and her mama, they curse each other out like they sisters, like they grew up together for real. Like, we're not getting into that. You know what I'm saying? But that's who we be having babies with. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think that's totally important. That's something that's widely overlooked.
It's important, man. Listen, it's like all we know is that booty was big. That's all we know. Like, man, that thing fine.
That thing,
you know what I'm saying? That thing, that's it. Right. And we just not introducing, like, listen, if you're a young man listening to this, or if you're not, like, because it's there and it kind of spills over until our adulthood, but, like, yo, like, if you don't have that in place, like, at least just go put a condom on, dog. Like, like we be so surface minded when we make decisions, you know. But that's another conversation. For sure. After that, if you have the oopsie daisy baby, like, realize what your responsibilities now are.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying? At least if you didn't do it for you, do it for them. You know what I'm saying? Like at least do better. Like, at least do your dirt behind the, you know what I'm saying? At least do your dirt behind the back. Like, you know, at least if y'all gonna argue, go argue in the other room. Like, don't argue in front of children.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? If you gonna, you know what I mean? If you gonna go smoke your cigarettes, go smoke it in front of them. Like, hide it from them. Yeah. You know what I mean? Some people don't think that it's wise to hide things from your kids. Some people think, like, listen, like, we about to go in a room and fuss in private, quote unquote. Like, we need to have this. We need to be on Front Street with this. You know, I mean, in a sense, not in the time. We just need to. I feel like I agree with you, Cole. Like, I feel like there's a time and a place. Yeah. I feel like we don't even need to be fussing for real, because that's poor communication. Right. That's thing. That's not effective communication. Yep. That's the thing.
I think, like, if you're gonna have those conversations in front of your kids, incorporate them, and then ask them how they feel. Ask them what you think about. Not like asking them questions on the level of a parent, but like, if you're gonna have a conversation in front of them, include them. Right. But be mindful of the fact that they're there, but practice effective communication to where it makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Otherwise, pick a better time. Wait till they go to school or something and then have that conversation. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Yeah, man. Moving on from that, dog. You know, the big data, what we feel is always what we feel is the ticket to having a successful life, which it ain't, but it's a very, very, very important part, man. It's your financial.
For sure.
You know, Toe talked about having a budget. You know, we don't even know that we leaking, because I don't even know what I don't even know what my money look like.
For sure.
Like, I don't even know how much money coming in.
For sure.
Let alone how much money I should be keeping in.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And that's really what a budget is. Like, you creating awareness. Like, you don't know if you could buy that Twix bar or not. Like, you can't even you don't know what position you need to put yourself in to be able to make the decisions. Like that's like having a budget is step one. You know, like you know, you talk about the budget. Don't that sound lame? You know what I'm saying?
Yes, it sounds boring. But let me ask y'all this.
Yeah.
How many of y'all can go to the grocery store, put whatever you want in your basket? Look at that. I'm gonna be talking the truth. You hear me? On the ding.
Yeah, let me
How
put me
many?
on.
No, you good. How many of y'all can go to the grocery store? Honestly, put whatever food items that you want in your grocery basket. Get to the register and not have to check your account to see if you got enough. You ain't gotta look at the watching the total go up, and you have to look at what's in your account before you go shopping. When you get to the register. Listen, I've done that. You know what I'm saying? I've been in that place to where I'm like, okay, damn, all right, that been running up. You know what I'm saying? I only got this on Cash App. I only got this on in my bank account. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to try to stay within the margin of, now you got to start taking stuff out. Like, you got to, if you living like that, then you got a problem. If you living like that, then you got a problem. You know, go ahead.
I'm sorry. I'm just add this. It don't matter how much money you got. We ain't talking about how much money you got. If you living like that, period, then that's an issue. I just want to add that. It don't, like, he ain't talking about you got millions in the bank and you could just do whatever you want. Like we ain't talking about that. I'm gonna go ahead and finish your point.
For sure. And so that's just my thing. Like, they got a certain level of success, and I actually got this from like listening to I was probably listening to some podcasts, and the lady was like, man, I mean, for the first time I was able to go to the store, get what I wanted from the store, and I ain't have to check my account to see if I had enough in there before hitting the register to see what I had. You know what I'm saying? And I just think that's a wake-up call. Like, if you living like that, that's a wake-up call. You know, and so for me to make sure that I'm not in that spot, something that I've done and that I'm doing is, because what's his name? Myron Golden. He said, how many of you, well, how did he phrase it? How many people find themselves having more days at the end of the check, having more days at the end of the month than they do having the check at the end of the month? Like, your check then ran out before the end of the month. You got more days at the end of the month than you got check left. You know what I'm saying? And so I don't want to live like that. So in order for me to be able to, you know what I'm saying, to not live like that, I gotta see where the bleeding coming from. And that's why if I can show y'all, if I could be a little transparent, slightly transparent at least, I ain't gonna let y'all get into the specifics and the nitty gritty, because y'all might see that I ain't got no OnlyFans on anything like that, but y'all just see that from the first to the ninth I know it's blurry because it's focusing on me, but y'all can see the transactions. Like, y'all can see that I'm documenting my transactions. I got the date, the category, the description, the amount, the payment, and notes if I have any particular notes about that particular purchase, if it was a one-time purchase, if it's reoccurring, whatever the case is. And so at the end of the month, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna evaluate. I'm gonna see how much money I spent on food, how much money did I spend on like going out, how much money I spent on alcohol, how much money I spent on my bills. Because I need to be able to know where my money's going. But if you don't have that financial awareness, you don't know where your money going, then it's gonna be hard to stop the bleeding. It's gonna be hard to fix the problem. You know what I'm saying? So that's just kind of like my approach to slowing that down, cool.
Yeah, man. So like, you don't understand that even people who are millionaires know where their money is going. If they don't know where their money is going, they paying somebody to know where their money is going. Absolutely. There's no, like, you literally, like, to be honest, before you go to the grocery store, you need to know how much you spend. When you picking something up, you need to know, like, okay, I got this left. Like, you need to add a calculator. Like that's how, like we talking about being financially responsible. That's what it look like. Yeah. Like, I don't need to just be picking stuff up. Just drop, like, you know what I'm saying? Just dropping it down just because I know I got somewhere around $100. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, it don't work like that. Like, there is no time where you should be like, you know what's messing us up, too? Talk to me. It's the culture, man. It's the rap culture. Sure. We go on Instagram. We like, hey, man, I don't look at Nicki Minaj in her song. She like a price tag. I don't look at no price tags. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You don't look at no price tag, but they lying. If they go and they spend something and it's too much, their accountant gonna call them, hey, you're doing too much.
Yeah.
Don't let them cap you like that. Like their account is being, you know what I'm saying? They own it. You know what I'm saying? Now they might not have to worry about it, which is probably what they should be saying. You know what I'm saying? Because they got somebody that's on them for that. You know what I'm saying? But there's no, like, you don't got that, so you need to be doing it.
You need to be doing that. Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Before you pick up that Twix ball, know what you got, know how much money you need to be spending. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how hands-on you need to be if you want your stuff. Like, there's no leaking. Like you can't have the Band-Aid half on a wound. The blood's still gonna be leaking out. You need to have the Band-Aid on the entire thing.
And you need the appropriate size Band-Aid on the appropriate size wound. Listen, Cole, how many people say, I can't save money? I be trying, but I just can't save money. But yet they hitting the club, but yet they buying bottles, but yet they buying cigarettes, but yet they going out to eat 5, 6, 7 times in a month. And I'm talking to me, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't smoke cigarettes, but I'm just saying some of those do apply. But I'm just saying, like, I'm spending money on these leisureal things, on leisure, on fun. You know what I'm saying? I go to the movies from time to time, and I like to get the fancy seats that recline with the leather. I get the VIP pods. That's $30, $40, $50 just for the seats. So if I'm doing all this, but I'm talking about I can't save no money, it's no wonder why I can't save no money.
Yep, that ain't even a problem.
I'm putting what make me happy first, you know what I'm saying? And at the very least, man, Cole hit me up. He said, bro, now's the time to jump in. He was talking about some stocks. It shouldn't be no way where I can't afford to put money on stocks, but I can go get $30 lunch. You know what I'm saying? Me and my lady, we gonna get lunch. We got just made groceries, but we going to get lunch. Or we going out to eat. Ain't no way if I'm spending money on this, or I just brought a $150 pair of tennis shoes, whether I need shoes or not. Like, I should be able to prioritize. Man, so when I read the book Rich Dad Poor Dad, one of the takeaways from that book that I took away was to pay yourself first. You paying all these bills, you paying rent and all these other things, but paying yourself first don't necessarily mean go splurge and go be negligent with your finances. It meant, like, whether it's going to your savings, your rainy day fund, whether it's going to an investment, you just make sure you pay yourself first before you start paying those bills. Now, make it make sense. Know what you can afford to pay yourself. Make it make sense. Be smart about it. But pay yourself first. You see what I'm saying? And that could be an investment. But just make sure you taking care of yourself first and put all that leisure stuff on the back burner. You see what I'm saying?
Right. Yep. I mean, that's the real problem here. You know what, too? I'm gonna develop another saying that I add at the end of the podcast. Reminding our viewers and our family of there are non-negotiable foundations that go into everything that we do.
100.
Discipline is there every time.
Absolutely.
Right? And a lot of times we don't, a big thing for discipline is, just being able to meditate or, tell yourself no and having patience and stuff like that. All that stuff is needed, right? And so every day we should have some, like, if you can't control yourself at least once a day, you need to be practicing how to control yourself at least once a day. If you can't control yourself multiple times a day, you know what I'm saying, which is most likely true, you need to be doing things to attack
strengthen
that.
Yeah, strengthen that discipline muscle.
You know what I'm saying? Because that's really what it is. It's not that you can't save money. It's that you can't control your emotional. You know what I'm saying? Your emotions. That's what it is.
Stuff on.
You know what I'm saying? It's not really the fact that, you know what I'm saying, you got life struggles. Is that you don't have any reflection time. Mm-hmm. Like, it's never the surface. It's it's the habits and it's the the foundations that we have. We need to like don't forget. It's not what you need to do, it's who you need to become to maintain what you need to do. You know what I'm saying? Because we could do that. Like, I could do this today. I could create the budget today. Mm-hmm. But also at the end of the month, I need to go ahead on and check that budget and see what I did throughout the month. Like I need to assess it.
Yes.
You know, I need to do it, and then I need to keep up with it, right? So it's like doing it is nothing, too. Like we know that.
Cool.
Doing it really don't. Yeah.
I'm talking about it's a few things that really blend all these different topics together at the end of the day when we put it all in a nutshell. And those things are, you gotta have those boundaries. You gotta first and foremost, you gotta have awareness. You gotta be able to realize that there's bleeding coming from somewhere, that you're suffering, that there's pain coming from somewhere. Then you gotta have your boundaries. You gotta have your boundaries. The way that you approach things in a way that you accept from outside entities, whether it be people, or whether it be yourself, your outer thoughts. You know what I'm saying? Your emotional influxes. You know what I'm saying? You gotta have those boundaries with yourself, and then you gotta have your non-negotiables. Those come in where you want something, but you know you're working on discipline. Discipline is where you get to flex those non-negotiables. To where I know I want this, but I said that at the beginning of the month on the 1st, I said this was the most important top 2 or 3 things, and this fourth thing don't fit into that category of those top 3 things. I can't fool with that. You gotta have those non-negotiables so that you can create those boundaries for yourself.
Right. You gotta stand on something.
For sure. And when it come, and I want to kind of close this out because I didn't I don't think we did an adequate close for the parent thing, because I was kind of going all over the place. In that parental space, we gotta have those 3 things. You gotta have that awareness. You gotta be aware of what kind of person you are, what kind of parent you are, what kind of, like, would you want your child to date somebody just like you? And if the answer to that question is no, then that's not what you want. You know what I'm saying? Do you want your daughter to be somebody just like you, or your son to be somebody just like you, and then date the opposite counterpart that's just like the parent, their parent? That also goes into choosing who you lay down with. Don't lay down with nobody who you wouldn't want your child to be like. You want to raise your child to have the same morals and values and carry themselves in the same kind of way. So that's just what I would say to close that aspect off. But in every other aspect that we have, Cole, you know, I think at least those 3 things, that awareness, those boundaries, and then your non-negotiables, create those things for yourself so that you can create guidelines for yourself to operate in. Yep. And I'm gonna leave it right there.
Yep. And listen, it's not cool. I told to me, because I do this a lot. Like, it's in my habit, so that's why I still had the urges there for me to make major progress by tomorrow, and it's not gonna happen like that. Like, oh man, you gotta chip away at it. And that really speaks to my ability to be calm, my impulsiveness. You know what I'm saying? Like, I need to, be meditating every day, like I was just telling y'all to do. You know what I'm saying? Because, I, like that, it just gives you patience, right? Yeah. Like, you need patience. Like, I need to be able to sit there and focus on one thing at a time and not look at the major picture. Right, I should only be looking at the major picture when I'm going over my goals. When I'm going through day to day, I'm not looking at the major picture. I'm only I'm chipping away at the things that I need to be doing, and I'm not expecting that whole list to get completed by tomorrow. Right. Because that kills us too. We like, I've been doing it and I don't see nothing. That's because you're not looking in the right place. You should be you're not seeing nothing, because you like I'm looking way down there, and I'm not looking at my feet. Like, I'm taking steps. That's what I need to be looking at. You feel what I'm saying?
If I could add a different perspective to that, it's to what you're saying, but in a different way. Instead of looking at how far you gotta go, look at how far you've come. You're not saying nothing because you're looking at how far you've come. I mean, because you're looking at how far you gotta go, how far you got left. Like, you tired, but you like, damn, I still gotta go. I still got a year. I still got 3 more months. That's gonna tear you down. It's gonna be like, damn, I don't know if I got it, because I'm already feeling tired. But you know what? I'm gonna look back and I'm gonna be like, damn, I just put 2 years behind me. And yeah, I'm a little tired, but I deserve to feel like this, because I just knocked 2 years out. But I got enough for 2 more years, and I'm about to knock this. I might go get this degree. I'm gonna go get this promotion. I'm a save up so I can start this business, so I can start my business cash. You see what I'm saying? I ain't gotta get no loan.
Yep.
Gotta find a way to make it worth it.
So I'm doing it at the current moment, right? Like sometimes when I'm running and I really want to stop, I look down at my feet. Like I look down at my feet, I look down at the street right in front of me. Something about that soothes me, like, cause I'm actually actively doing it, right? Cause you could look forward, you could look behind you, or you could look like at right now. You know what I'm saying? Like there's future, there's now, and there's past. So I'm focused on either three of them or those things, yep. Right? Like if I'm saving, like if I'm saving money, don't look at how much money you gotta save, or maybe not. Like there's a reason for each of it. I think the past, when you're looking at the past, is like to give you motivation to keep going. Mm-hmm. Right? I'm looking at the future to see where I gotta go, and I'm looking at now to just focus on what I'm like, just to be inside of the action. Yes. You know, like we were talking about that. Like you doing the dishes, you're looking at how much you gotta do, instead of just washing the plate. Like just be inside of it in a moment. Like you can't even be present in it because you know what I'm saying, you focusing on what it's gonna look like when it's finished. And then
you're looking at what you're gonna get after you finish. You so worried about what the reward is that you can't even take pride in the action.
Right, and ain't even no quality in it. Like I'm looking at the rest of the dishes, and I put the plate down. They still got dirt on the plate.
They still got you know what I'm saying?
They got a lot of something up. You know what I mean? So, like just we gotta remember to, or we have to practice focus. You have to practice focusing on what we're working on at the moment, and just label everything, you know.
Yeah.
And so, you know, like, so we can stop that bleeding, man, because
absolutely.
And listen, we're not gonna stop all of the bleeding at once. That's another perspective of it, right? Like also looking at everything that's bleeding, you looking too far. We don't need to be looking. Like right now, we focusing on the bleeding on the financials. That's what we focusing on right now. Then we focusing on the family bleeding. We'll focus on that at that moment. You know what I'm saying? So, this is major, man. This is a major conversation. You know, I'm definitely going to review this, man, because this is something that I'm still working on. I like being able to talk about it, because it brings back new awareness or feeds more energy into, you know, the foundations that we need. You know what I'm saying?
Sure. Sure.
Without further ado,
let me tell y'all something. Let me tell y'all something right quick.
Yeah.
Let me tell y'all something. Take y'all time, and if you need to go back, like Coach said, he gonna do some reflecting. You go back and you do some reflecting. You internalize this. You know what I'm saying? Especially if something resonated with you. And share this video with somebody. Share this video with somebody who might really need it, because even just kind of expressing some of the things that we talked about today, it helped me out a lot, because I was able to get some things off my chest. I was able to kind of like, you know, just kind of like take the pressure off, you know what I'm saying? And just kind of like get it out. And I do benefit from these conversations in this way. So without further ado, we just want to personally thank each and every single one of you, every single one of y'all that come through every single week after week, who are in attendance and who are attentive. We just want to thank y'all on behalf of the Free Will Podcast family. Thank y'all for being the best part of the Free Will family. Thank y'all for being a part of the growth, being a part of the journey. Thank y'all for standing alongside of us and becoming the best versions of ourselves together. Next Friday, 8:30 Central Time, we will be here, alive and improv, and we can't wait to see y'all, and we can't wait for y'all to see us, because week after week we grow together. And just like that, Cole. So look, we're gonna be here next Friday, 8:30 Central Time. But I don't want y'all to just meet us there, Cole.
Meet us there, huh?
And we gonna be in the building waiting for y'all to kick off another Free Will Friday. We are out.